In the thick, impenetrable jungles of Vietnam, darkness fell swiftly, enveloping the land in an oppressive shroud. The sounds of nocturnal creatures filled the air, a symphony of life in the midst of war. For the soldiers of the Viet Cong, night brought a different kind of terror. Nguyen, a young Viet Cong soldier, sat by the campfire with his comrades. The flickering flames provided a small comfort against the encroaching shadows. They were weary from days of constant movement and the ever-present threat of enemy attacks. As the fire crackled, Nguyen couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, a sensation that had been growing stronger with each passing night. The jungle was a place of mystery and superstition. Stories of wandering spirits, souls of those who had died far from home and without proper burials, were common. These spirits, it was said, roamed the forests, crying out in sorrow and anger. Nguyen had never given much thought to these tales until recently. It started with whispers, faint and indistinct, drifting through the trees. At first, they were easy to dismiss as the wind or the rustling of leaves. But then, the whispers became clearer, more insistent. They spoke of death, of pain, and of endless wandering. One night, as the camp settled into uneasy sleep, the whispers grew louder. Nguyen awoke to the sound of a mournful wail, a chilling cry that seemed to pierce the very soul. He sat up, heart pounding, and saw his comrades stirring in their sleep, their faces etched with fear. The wailing continued, and Nguyen could hear words now, spoken in a voice that seemed to come from beyond the grave. "My friends, I have come back to let you know that I am dead," the voice moaned. "I am lost, forever wandering these cursed lands." Nguyen's blood ran cold. He recognized the voice. It sounded like Min, a fellow soldier who had gone missing weeks ago during a firefight. The realization hit him like a blow. Min was dead, his spirit trapped and tormented. The camp was in chaos. Soldiers stumbled out of their tents, eyes wide with terror. The wailing grew louder, accompanied by the sound of rustling leaves and distant cries. It felt as though the jungle itself was alive with the spirits of the dead. "Stay together," their commander shouted, trying to maintain order. "It's a trick. The Americans are trying to scare us." But his words did little to calm the panic. The men were convinced that the spirits of their fallen comrades were reaching out to them, warning them of their fate. Some ran into the jungle, desperate to escape the haunting cries. Others huddled together, eyes scanning the darkness for any sign of the supernatural. Nguyen stayed with the group, clutching his rifle, his mind racing. He knew the stories, the cultural beliefs that spoke of wandering souls. He had never fully believed them, but now, in the dead of night, with the voices of the dead all around him, doubt and fear gnawed at his resolve. As the hours dragged on, the wailing eventually subsided, leaving an eerie silence in its wake. The soldiers were left shaken, their nerves frayed. The psychological toll of the night was evident in their hollow eyes and trembling hands. In the days that followed, whispers spread through the ranks about the American tactic known as Operation Wandering Soul. The knowledge did little to comfort them. The idea that their enemies would exploit such deeply held beliefs to instill fear was both horrifying and profoundly unsettling. For Nguyen and his comrades, the jungle was no longer just a battlefield. It was a place haunted by the spirits of the dead, a constant reminder of their own mortality. Each night brought with it the possibility of hearing those dreadful voices again, a terror that would linger in their hearts long after the war was over. Operation Wandering Soul had succeeded in its goal, leaving a psychological scar on those who experienced it. The haunting cries of the lost souls became a legend, a story passed down through generations, a chilling reminder of the lengths to which fear could be weaponized in the horrors of war.